Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please do share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with Grade 5 2018 Practice Paper B, and we're going to turn to page 14 to have a look at question 5 for starters. So as I always say, I hope you've had a go of this on your own. First of all, it's always better to learn by your mistakes, and now we'll check through this together. So this first part of question 5 is writing out a descending chromatic scale. Now if you've got a piano keyboard just sketched out on a piece of scrap paper, it doesn't take long to find a way of doing it, and even if you don't play piano, it's still a really great visual aid, and it's really easy then to just see that you're progressing down the semitone. So that's kind of nearly all of the work done for you. However, there are a couple of things that you need to bear in mind in addition to that. So when we're writing a chromatic scale, we need to try to make sure that we keep numbers 1 or intervals 1, 4 and 5 in keeping with your key notes, sort of the major minor. So if you've got the choice, if number 1's an F sharp, so when you come to it at the end, you need to choose an F sharp as opposed to a G flat. So here, number 4, F, G, A, B, you would choose to write the note as a B as opposed to, say, for example, a C flat. And then the 5th degree is C, which would be C sharp if we're in this key, if that's your tonic, as opposed to writing a D flat. So just bear that in mind. Other than that, we're just literally inching our way down in semitones. So if I just keep that to hand, that should do the thinking for us. So we're on F sharp at the moment and we're descending down chromatically. So our next note is going to be note F. However, that is not note F until we've cancelled the sharp, so make sure you cancel the accidental by calling it F natural. The next note down is E, so that's already sorted. Now then here we could call it an E flat, but as I'm in sharp, so I'm going to just call that D sharp. Thing to remember as well is you have to have each note line space allocated at least once but not more than twice. So I've already called it E, so I don't necessarily have to call it E flat, so I prefer to call it D sharp. Now coming down, we want the D natural. Coming down again, so this is where we would call it C sharp. Now we've already used the D twice, so we couldn't then say D flat anyway because we can't use that D line more than twice, so it wouldn't be appropriate anyway. But you can see how just staying in the sharps has kept us on the right track. So we want C sharp, and now we need to cancel that to make it a C natural. Now B, we're okay, nothing needs changing there. Now we could call it B flat and that would be okay, but I prefer to stay in the sharps because I'm in sharps here, so I'm going to call this A sharp. I've used the B once. As long as that note is allocated at least once, I can now press on. So I'm going to say A sharp and keep it in the sharp. So now I need to cancel that to A natural, and then we need this one, so I wouldn't call that A flat because I've used the A twice, and if I call it G sharp, I'm staying in the sharps, and that takes me on to my next step, so I'm not using it 3 times by calling it A flat. Now cancel that and it becomes G natural. And then now we would call this F sharp. We've used the G twice already, so we wouldn't call it G flat, but we don't want to call it G flat because we're in the tonic of F sharp, so that just sorts it right. So we've got the F sharp, we've got the B, we've got C sharp, so everything's just hunky-dory. So if I've stayed in the sharps, that's kept me sort of on the right side of things, and I've used everything at least once. Every line of space is allocated at least once, but not more than twice. So that is job done. Let's press on to the next one. Now we have a scale to write out here. We're doing C sharp melodic minor. Now throughout the course of a paper you will be referring to major and minor key signatures often in all sorts of different questions, and so I suggest that before you start you write out your circle of fifths, and that way you've already done your thinking for this bit anyway. If you're not sure how to write out your circle of fifths so that you've got your major and minor key signatures quickly and easily to hand, if you look in the link in the description and also in the cards, you will see a link to my video tutorial explaining how to work out the circle of fifths, and that way it's all written down and you can just relax and refer to it, and it saves making mistakes in the heat of the moment. So if you've done that, you will know that C sharp minor is related to E major, which would have a key signature of F sharps, C sharps, G sharps and D sharps. We're told not to use a key signature though, so we're going to have to bear that in mind and add them as accidentals, and then we're going to have to just think again to make this the melodic minor. This is where it's really important that you use pencil because you may have to rub out. So if you're not happy with this clef, if you don't like working in bass clef, why not make life easy on yourself? It depends what instrument you play, whether you're comfortable with this or not. So we have a C, of course it's a C sharp, but your key signature or accidentals will deal with that. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And you could also double check yourself because you're ascending, you know that this is counting upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can always rub that out when you finish thinking about it. So we need to add this key signature F, C, G, D sharp. So F, remember the sharp comes before the note, you need to know before you play it. Although you say F sharp, we write sharp F of music and so on. So F, C sharp comes twice because we begin and end on that, G sharps and D sharps. So that's the key signature taken care of now as accidentals, but now we need to make this the melodic minor, and ascending, in the ascending form we then have to raise the 6th and the 7th. Descending, if you remember, is the key signature of the related scale only, but ascending we need to add accidentals to raise the 6th and the 7th. So we've already counted up, so the A becomes an A sharp and the B then becomes a B sharp. So you can see how if you've just done your circle of fifths, you've done all the thinking for this anyway. So do check out the links in the card and the description to that circle of fifths video tutorial, and then that nicely answers that question for us. I hope that's helpful to you. I hope that I'm helping you get to grips with this. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please do share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and browse around all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.